This lesson is on circles. So let us take a look at an example. X minus 2 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 16. And we want to think about what that looks like. So let's go ahead and graph that on Desmos. And let's take a look at it. So we'll go ahead and put in x minus 2 squared plus y minus 5 squared. And that is supposed to equal 16. So we can see it. And we'd like to identify what the diameter is. So the 2 points that are farthest apart, these two, how far apart are they? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the diameter of this circle is 8. So let's write that down. Diameter is 8. Well, the radius is half of the diameter. So remember, the radius is from the center out to the circle. So the radius is half that. So the radius is 4. Now, where do we see a 4 in this equation? You don't see it necessarily, but you recognize that 16 is 4 squared. And indeed, that will be the case. That this 16 square root is 4, that tells us what the radius is. Let's go back and take a look at the picture. Now, where is the center of this circle? Well, you can see I have one diameter here, so let me draw in that line at y equals 5. I have another diameter here at x equals 2. Let's draw that line in. So the center is where they crisscross. The center is right here. Again, you can see the radius from the center to the circle, 1, 2, 3, 4. Center to the circle, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that center is what? X is 2, y is 5. So let's write that down on our page. Center is 2, 5. Do we see 2 and 5 in the equation? And absolutely we do. So there's 2, there's 5, and 16 is 4 squared. That's how all this comes together. So knowing that, we can go ahead and generate our formula for a circle, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is r squared. So the center is h comma k. And the radius is r. So in our example, we can rewrite this as x minus 2 squared, fine, plus y minus 5 squared is 16, which is 4 squared again. H here, k there, and the 4 part is r. So if we know the center and if we know the radius, we should be able to graph that circle. So let's try that with our next example. Let's say we have x plus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 4. Our formula again was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Can we rewrite the original question in this form? X plus 3 is the same as x minus negative 3 squared. Y minus 5, I don't have to change. And 4 is 2 squared. So our center is h comma k. So h is negative 3. K is 5. And the radius equals 2. So let's go ahead and graph that on Desmos and see if we are correct. So I'll pull that up. Our center was negative 3, 5, which which is here. The radius was 2. That means 2 units to the left, 2 units to the right, 2 units up, 2 units down. 2 units to the left would be negative 5, 5. Yeah, maybe let's change that color. 2 units to the right would be negative 5, negative 1. No, excuse me, negative 1, negative 5. Common mistake. Switch the x's and the y's. Negative 1, positive 5. There we go. Finally, I got it. 2 units up, boom, boom, negative 3, 7. And 2 units down, negative 3, 3. So there we go. Those 4 red points are the points on the circle. So that if I graph the equation of that circle, it should go through those 4 points. So what was the equation of my circle originally? X plus 3, quantity squared, plus y minus 5 squared, equals 4. Boom. Going through the 4 dots. So feeling pretty good about ourselves. Now, they can get more interesting than that. So let's try it and let's see what we can come up with. So what if I have a question like this? How do I graph it? How do I find the center? How do I find the radius? X squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y equal 3. How are we going to do this? Well, we have to get it in the format that we looked at in our last problem. So let's put the x's together. X squared minus 4x. Let's put the y's together. Y squared plus 6y is going to equal 3 plus something. Now, what I need to do is I need to complete the square on both of these. So if you recall the process, half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So I add 4 to this thing to complete this square, but then I've got to add 4 over there to keep the equation balanced. Similarly, half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. Add 9 here, and then add 9 here to keep the equation balanced. So what do I need to do? I need to factor and see what these things are. So I'm going to pull out my factor box here. X squared minus 4x plus 4. I've completed the square, so it should be a perfect square. Let's see. The way I could have visualized completing the square, x squared here, negative 2x and negative 2x adds up to negative 4x. This is x minus 2. This is x minus 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So this gives me x minus 2 times x minus 2, which is the same as x minus 2 squared. So that's that first piece. The first piece is x minus 2 squared. So that's these guys together is x minus 2 squared. Plus, this next one I had y squared plus 6y. I added 9 to complete the square. How would I have done that if I visualized completing the square? Y squared here plus 3y and plus 3y gives me to plus 6y. Y times y is y squared. Plus 3 times plus 3 is plus 9. So adding 9 would have completed the square, and that's what I did. So I have y plus 3 times y plus 3, which of course gives me y plus 3 quantity squared. So the second piece of this is y plus 3 squared. Equals 3 and 4 is 7, and 9 is 16. And you can see I made sure that this problem had pretty sorts of numbers. So what's the center? What's the radius? How do we graph this? Well, Remember, our formula is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So h is 2, y plus 3 is the same as y minus negative 3. So k is negative 3. If r squared is 16, what does that make r? That makes r 4. So center 2, negative 3. Radius is 4. So that should enable us to graph it by hand. So we'll go back to Desmos. And we'll get rid of everything that was there before. And I'm saying the center is 2, negative 3. And I have to go, the radius is 4, so 4 over, 4 over, 4 up, 4 up. To the left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. X is negative 2, y is negative 3. That looks good. 4 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. X is 6, y is negative 3. That looks good. And you can see there's in the center, 4 this way, 4 that way. 4 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1. And 4 down, 1, 2, 3, 4 would give me 2, negative 7. So hopefully when I write in that first equation, it will go through those 4 green points. That's what we're going for. So let me copy it down. X squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y equals 3. Will it go through those points? The answer is yes. So I feel pretty good about myself. So that's the process. Let's just go over it one more time in terms of how I built that. So this is what we started with. We started with x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 6y equals 3. And then what did I have to do? I had to figure out how did I complete the square. X squared minus 4x, half of 4 is 2, squared is 4. And then I had y squared plus 6y, and I had to complete the square on that. How did I do that? Half of 6 is 3, 3 squared is 9. If I added 4 and 9 on the left side, I've got to add 4 and 9 on the right side to keep the equation in balance. And then I factored both of these guys. This first piece became x minus 2 squared. Multiply that out, x minus 2 times x minus 2, x squared minus 4x plus 4. Factoring y squared plus 6y plus 9, y plus 3 times y plus 3, that's y plus 3 squared. 3 and 4 is 7, and 9 is 16. So now what is my center? What is my radius? Remember, here's our formula, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is r squared. It'd be nice if you could think about how that's related to the distance formula, because that's what essentially defines the circle. So you can see h is 2, k is negative 3, r is 4. So our center is 2, negative 3, and our radius is 4. And that's what we were able to graph when we went to Desmos, and that's what it looked like. And that will conclude this lesson.